Today on the show, we're going to talk about technology and what to look for in your 2021, 2022 vehicle. If it doesn't have the following features, keep looking. Ted, what do you think of the show today?
Well, it's hard to say it, but I was wrong.
Let me get a calendar out.
Well, man, I hate to be wrong, but I was wrong. I'll just have to wait till it's my turn, and I'll explain.
Hey, so it's funny, man. I went for a walk today down by the ocean and watching the waves come in. First of all, when I got here, they have concrete walls, and the ocean comes up, smacks the concrete wall. They have dropped, I don't remember the number. I saw it in the newspaper. It was in Portuguese, it was my best to translate it. But it was thousands of pounds of sand. And they have created a sand area where those concrete walls are. Now it goes out like 20 foot of sand. And we're out there watching, and there are these two individuals, man, older guys. They're in just shorts. They're a tiny bit more out of shape than we are, a lot more out of shape than we are. And they are running. They're excited, man. They hit that first step, splash. Second step, whoop, and turn around, running backwards. Some go. Ted, I'm wearing a hoodie. Of course it's cold. What do you mean cold? It's 65 degrees. They think the water was hot. But it's very strange here right now, man. I don't know how it is in Fayetteville. But
actually, yeah. I mean, like right now, it actually broke 70 today. But this is, of course, this is Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. This is like the kickoff for summer activities in the United States. Normally, we kick off Memorial Day and then Labor Day, put everything away. But
right.
I was going to work Friday, man, and it was 55 degrees.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, 55 degrees. People's headed to the lake, man. They're dragging they got their big towboats, you know what I'm saying? They got the big boats, man. They're headed to the lake. And it's cold.
Hey,
cold.
Ted, we need to do a boat show. We need to break down 3 categories.
Okay.
I wish, if you can afford it, you should get it, and just getting into the program. Because as you know, man, I need a truck, but I need a boat, man. I'm going to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All those lakes, got to get a boat. But anyway, that's another show. Unless you guys know, then I'll take it down there. But yeah, man.
You'll take it where?
Take it on the comments. Hey, so, man, yeah, it's weird, right? Like, this is the coldest I've ever seen. They're talking about normally it's 75, 85 degrees, and we're barely busting 70.
Yeah. Just seemed like the last few years, the weather, was a little bit behind. I'm sure in another week or two it'll be up there. I mean, it's 75 today. It's normal today, but we'll get there.
Yeah, not bad. It's 95 degrees in Alton, so
okay.
I'll get there pretty quick next year.
There you go. Yeah. Sweet.
They tell me to bring that cold weather with me. That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring it on. It will be cold when you're down there.
Yeah. Hey, so man, I've been, we've been really chatting about vehicles lately, and that got me to thinking about what kind of new crazy tech should I expect to see in vehicles this year. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. So I went to Kelley Blue Book and I looked for the 10 best automotive technologies for 2021. This was released in January. I couldn't really find another list, so I'm sure there's one out there. I just didn't find it.
Yeah.
So I don't know I know you've been out driving new vehicles. I know you're up on the know. I was really disappointed with the list. For instance, I'm going to go through the ones that everybody knows, and I want to scroll back and talk about the neat stuff.
Okay.
First thing, advanced driver assist. Everyone, to my knowledge, knows that we are getting closer and closer to some kind of cars that drive themselves.
Yeah.
For years, we've had lane assist. We've had cars that back themselves up and parks the car for you because you can't parallel park. Which, by the way, I couldn't before moving to New Jersey, and now I'm a beast at it. Oh my goodness! I got to pause for a second. I'll get back. I promise. We were watching Seinfeld. You already know the episode. George is backing up. Todd is pulling in, and they fight the entire rest of the episode of who belongs in the hole. The guy backing and they're pulling forward. You've seen this episode. They're fighting over the parking spot, right? Yeah. I have to tell you that I didn't get it before I got to New Jersey, New York area. If you're pulling in, that's because you're trying to undercut somebody. George should have just backed that car right on the top.
Right.
It was Jerry's car anyways, just back it over the top of him. What a jerk. Anywho. Yeah. Paige was like, but I like to pull in. And I was like, yeah. But anywho, that's because she can't parallel park. It's okay. She doesn't watch our show anyways. So they have blind spot alert. Every car should already have that. Cross traffic alert, same thing. Reverse brake assist. I don't know if I like reverse brake assist. That's another conversation. To me, that's a pretty guaranteed one. Automatic emergency brake, same thing. That one scares me. I've seen too many videos of people driving down the freeway. A bird flies. The sensor thinks it's a car and it locks their brakes up at 7 miles an hour. 1 second. Wireless connectivity charging. That should not be new. Every car I was looking at before I got here had a space for me to set my cell phone and it charged it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that still don't. You know, Sarah's her 300 doesn't have that.
Wow, but it still should be
does
technology.
Though. Beast mode.
Beast mode, yeah. 360 cameras. Again, every car should already have. To me, that's not new tech. That's been going on for a long time.
What irritates me is about you normally have to get a very high trim level to even get to 360 camera.
So that's the issue. Everybody should come with it.
I hate to just bust in here, but whenever I go look at a car now, there's a few things that I'd really like to have. And unfortunately, that seems like they're only in the highest trim levels, which is ridiculous because look, I'd be happy with a trim level. I'd be happy with the basic trim level. I would be happy with cloth seats.
Yeah.
I understand that like leather may be more expensive. It seems like the other vehicles I end up buying or have leather seats. And it's not because I was looking for them. It's because that's the truck or the car that had the options I was wanting. But what I want in a car, if I was to go buy another one today, I want to have heated and cooled seats. I'm telling you right now, man, you don't know how good that. I think I use a cool seat more than I do the heated. Man, in the summertime, that seat's hot, and you're driving somewhere a long way, and that dang thing blows cool air on your ass. Oh, yes. And today, my back's hurting. Huh?
You just changed my entire comment. We have 2 cars right here right now. One of them has heated seats. One of them doesn't. I was going to get rid of the one with heated seats when Paige left. Just changed my mind. I'd forgotten how cold the winters are here. I'm going to get rid of my car.
The biggest, I hear this from other people too in forums, the heated seats on a Chevrolet, you can turn on both the bottom, your butt and your back, or you can turn on just your back. I hear more people using it for their back, like me this morning, man. My back hurt. I turned on just the back, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. A few minutes, I could move again. I mean, after laying in the bed for 6 or 7 hours, my lower back, I hurt. My muscles back there, they don't like that. So
yeah,
that was great. But I want heated and cool seats. I want a heated steering wheel, and I want 360 cameras. I'm not really sure that a lot of, and cross traffic. I got to have cross traffic, and I got to have lane departure. Not lane departure, but I got to have the blind spot, warning. Those things I have to have. But I can't buy a $30,000 car with those items. They don't sell them. They don't put it on there. I don't know how much more those things could be. They can't be that much more. I don't know. I don't need no pro trailer backup assist. I don't need that. I don't need any crawl control. I don't need that. I just need those few things. I'd pay $4,000 or $5,000 over the list price of a base model vehicle for that, but they don't do that. They just don't sell it.
So I feel like whenever you're picking out your cable package and you call them and you tell them you got to have SEC Network, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much for buying our most expensive package." And you're like, "Wait a minute. I want the local channels plus SEC Network, and that's the most expensive package." Well, sir, we only offer it with the blah, 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 blah package. And you're like, "Look, I want basic channels for news, ESPN, ESPN2, and the SEC Network. That's it. You can keep all the rest."
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you're saying when you mention those items. They're like, well, if we just let people have what they wanted, we would never sell this other crap. Hey, so what do you think about your cell phone attaching to your vehicle on the permanent and it allowing you to start your car, check your fuel level, tire pressure gauge, that your car tells you what your tire pressure's at, lock and unlock. I'm trying to see what else. Yeah, what do you think about that?
So we have a little Ford car. We didn't really we didn't need another car. We ended up having to buy another car. We didn't need it. And it's a Ford. We bought what they had at the lot. It was actually the cheapest car they had there, but it had been they'd used it as a loaner car from their shop.
Yeah.
So the car actually had a lot of value, and we had to trade another one in that was upside down. It was the only vehicle that they had. It was the only vehicle in our area that we could trade for. We weren't looking for this car, but we ended up buying a car that we absolutely love. We didn't know it, but it's turned out great. It's a happy ending, except we got another car payment.
Right.
But the Ford app, you don't even have to pay for those options. With like Chevrolet and Chrysler, you have to pay to be able to unlock and start your vehicle. You have to pay for the upcharge, But the Ford app, man, it's just part of the deal. It's just like part of having a car. And the more cars you have, the more are on there. And I just went blank. I just seen that the Ford app does more for some of these cars that are coming out here in the next few days. Some electric cars, it'll show. I think you can pre-plan your trip on the app, I think is what I've seen. So you can plan your charging stops and stuff before you ever even, before you even get dressed in the morning, you can just plan your trip. I believe that's what I read.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So next item. You don't have teens anymore. You have grown children.
Thank God. Yes.
The teen driving technology does not allow the radio to come on until your seatbelt is fastened. I believe the engine cannot go into drive until the seatbelt is fastened. It notifies the parents if they go out of a certain radius. Notifies you if the car is driven over a certain speed. Notifies you if the seatbelts are taken off for any reason.
Wow.
Filters out certain channels on the radio you do not want. You can set the maximum volume of the radio.
Yeah.
It gives you a weekly report card of their driving safety. Yeah.
So does Allstate.
Yeah, but also doesn't know if it's your teen or not.
Yeah, but you get to see all your drivers on your account, see if they're speeding or not, Yeah, man. When kids lived at home, once a week, man, we'd pull the app up, and be like, oh, look here. You were doing 95 down 412 again, you got to cut back. I also on that new little Ford car, I don't know all the options for kid drivers, but I accidentally turned on a few things and had to go get the other key to delete all the settings I made. But yes, you could set the radio, like you said, the volume, and you can limit the speed to only so much. It'll only go so fast. And man, that's killer, dude.
Yeah.
To just have that ability on a vehicle. And I'm talking about the car we have is not a top of the line. It's a pretty base model little car, and it has that ability. But anyway, this wasn't a Ford show, but anyway, all
right. So there's the next one. Mm-hmm. It's the exit warning to protect cyclists. Now, cyclists. If you're a cyclist, God love you, but man, everybody else hates you. So the cool part about this, it says it's meant to notify you when an object is coming alongside your vehicle when you're stopped, so you don't accidentally open your door into a cyclist.
Yeah.
But it also keeps you open your door into oncoming traffic. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That is cool. That's the only bright spot about it. All right. Number 8, video recording of rear view camera.
Ooh, that's cool.
Rear camera.
Yeah.
I like that. Because if you get rear-ended, it's awful nice to show the cops that you were not doing anything wrong when you got rear-ended.
Yeah, got that recorded for you right here. Here's the chip.
Yeah, or if someone's acting a fool in traffic, you can just, And we don't, in Arkansas, it's not required to have your license plate on the front, but everywhere else it pretty much is.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. We can't afford that other piece of metal, man. Plus, I got stuff I want to put up there anyway. I ain't got time for no state license.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it's got me out of a lot of polls because they just take a picture of the front of the car and all you get is that Woo Pig on the front. Like, dang, that dang Razorback is everywhere. They have the stolen vehicle tracking software you can pay for from OnStar, which everybody's been having that for years. Number 10 is a blind spot protection. Basically, you probably have it, but if you think about your dash, you got like your gauges here and here, and if a car is coming up on this side,
Yeah.
your left or right, my left, and it's in a blind spot, it will turn into the car, and you can watch it disappear. And then the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Like you said, these are options that you shouldn't have to pay to get. I can't imagine it makes the car that much more expensive.
Mhm.
Most likely, the systems are already in the car.
Maybe, and I don't know. You gotta have the sensors and stuff. I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced it, but the new trucks at the company I work for, the drivers are telling me that on their dash, the trucks have got radar in the bumper looking forward, and they can look on their screen and it shows them all the vehicles ahead of them. My vehicle will tell me the how many seconds I'm behind the vehicle right in front of me. It doesn't tell me any others.
Nice.
But it does that, except it shows multiple vehicles and in front of you in multiple lanes. It shows how many seconds they are in front, and also shows their speed that they're traveling away from you. So you can tell if they're slowing down or speeding up. You look down, that baby says it's going, you're going 60, and it says it's going 45.
Woo!
Yeah, lock them up.
Yeah. Oh man. So you're done with that, man. So I'm driving home. If you've been to Europe, they are not allowed to text or drive or talk on the phone while driving.
Okay.
So you would think that's a good thing. They would slowly motor to the side of the road. No, they just. I'm stopped. What's up, baby? Yeah. So I'm driving, man. It's a one-lane road. I mean, there is just one lane. We're on a one way. We're just driving out here in the middle of dirt. And 4 cars, and we're going like 60, 70 kilometers an hour, about 45, 50 miles an hour. And all the cars in front of me lock it up. Slam on the brakes. I instinctively know I'm out in the woods. I just turn off the road, man, slide up, and I'll just crush the car, man, 50 sides.
Yeah.
And everybody's like Christmas tree out in front of this one car. And sure enough, you could have slowed down. You could have like.
So they don't have like a Bluetooth cell phone in their car?
Guess what?
You can't use Bluetooth in the car either?
No, they don't have Bluetooth in cars.
Well, I mean, they need Bluetooth. Yeah, but they need Bluetooth.
Yeah, if you can't wear headphones.
Yeah, but I mean, I ride around my truck or car. I just talk,
Sure, they don't have that. It's not a feature.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't understand. That makes sense to me.
Need my Chevrolets.
So yeah, man, I rolled up all slow, man. I want to say some mean stuff, and I remember that like this is normal customs here. It's just what they do. There's no apparently like it's just a Europe thing. I don't really understand it. They're the home of fashion, not for car technology. Best, I don't know. Man, we're not talking about cheap cars, bro. She was in a Lexus. Like this is not a cheap car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. It was. But anyways, man. So what you got, man? What's next? What's next?
Well, see, I was wrong.
About what?
I don't like to be wrong. I try not to be wrong, man. I really hate when I say something that's not correct. So we recorded the show last week on a Sunday, and then immediately after that, the wife and I would jump in a car and we head to Branson, and we pull into. I was going to get at Joe's Crab Shack. I'm just saying that, like, one of my guilty pleasures in life. I don't get to do it very often. I absolutely love to sit by the window at Joe's Crab Shack in Branson. I don't like crab. I used to really like I still do. I really like their crab nachos, but right at the beginning of the pandemic, they stopped selling them. They're still not back. So I had to eat something else. But man, I'm telling you, man, crab nachos by the window with the beer in Branson on the river is just it's my favorite thing to do. We pull into Bass Pro Park, and I just happen to notice I see some electric car chargers as we pull in the parking lot.
Okay.
And So I parked close. I walked back over to take a look, and I gotta get my screen share going here, but I didn't get a whole charger, but as a charger, you can't quite see the screen on this picture here.
No, I can't. I can see you and Sarah very well.
But
very reflective mirror.
I was actually really surprised here by the price on this particular one.
Okay.
Can you see it?
No. 7.3 kilowatts AC shared.
Keep reading it down.
Free. That's mind blowing.
All right, so this spurned like a whole. I've been on an adventure this week. I have spent, not every day, but I mean, in like 5 of the last 7 days since I've seen you, I have been studying how to charge your electric car. So it just blew my mind that we got there. So that particular charger, the name of the top says ChargePoint, the company's ChargePoint. Are you all right?
Yeah. My neck hurts.
Okay.
Good.
It says 6.7 kilowatts.
Yeah.
If you remember last week, our truck, it held 150 kilowatts. I should have done this math, and I just realized I should have done.
Hold on. What did you say? Wait a minute.
Are you with me?
Yeah. What was those numbers again?
Yeah, that said 6.7 kilowatts. So 150 divided by 6.7 is that didn't come out right.
That 22 hours?
Yeah, 22 hours. So obviously that's not what you want to do. Now remember, our truck is listed as only going 300 miles too on that 150 kilowatts, which is, it's a big battery. The distance is kind of short.
So you can go a half a mile per kilowatt.
Yeah.
Times that by 6.7. So I was in there for an hour, and I can go a good old 3 miles.
Yeah.
Can I even get to the next charging station?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe.
The one that charges a wee bit faster.
Thankfully they're not all that slow. There are some others that charge a little faster. So this one here is by Electrify America. It's here in my hometown. This one's not in Branson, and this one's not free. And
so guest is 16 cents a minute or 32 cents a minute. What's this 1 to 90 kilowatts?
Okay, so this is advertised. This says that at this particular station, they have 2 different chargers. They have a 90 kilowatt charger and a 350 kilowatt charger. So we don't care about the 90 watt. That's still slow. We want to go over that 350. So a 350 would be 24 cents a minute to use their machine.
That's if you're a member. Let's go with that.
Well, you're going to be you're a member. Just pretend you're a member.
Yeah, you're a member.
You pay $4 a month. It costs you $4 a month.
You're a member.
I'm sorry. All right. No member, 32 cents. You're right. No member, 32 cents a minute for 350 kilowatts. No membership.
So that's 350. Is that 350 kilowatts an hour?
Okay, so yes.
But I only need 150 kilowatts.
Right.
So that sounds like.
So Ford said somewhere I read that Ford said that that on the big charger it would take I want to say it said it took 40 minutes on the big charger.
So let's go 40 minutes.
Because obviously that amount of power, it can only go into the whole, it's just like it's just like a narrow spot in a river. Just because you have 350 watts, only so much can go through the opening. And so Ford said that the fast charger, it would take 44 minutes to charge the 150 kilowatt battery. So 32 cents a minute times 44 minutes.
All right. So two things. If you went if you were a non-member, it would cost you $12.80. If you were a member, it would cost you $9.60. So to me, it's worth the 65 cents to become a member.
Right. Yeah, we're getting into the realm of some sort of reality. The only problem though is those big chargers. I've looked in my area and Branson, Springfield, Missouri, and in Dallas. And some of the big chargers are like airports. I don't go there. And some of them are in parking decks. So that's a possibility. Maybe you could find a parking deck. But I'm just thinking that in Dallas, where the parking decks were, probably a lot of people parked there. So, and it's still not going to really help you on a trip. I hate that I haven't figured out how I could take a trip with an electric car yet. Map this out for you. So a couple things before we go further. If you see a charger that costs, if you see a 6.7 kilowatt charger, all of these were paid for with money provided by the federal government. They've all been subsidized. So you see them in a lot of places. That was kind of the idea. Like, we'll put these chargers everywhere. They seem kind of space agey. They're shaped like, real cool, and they have neat designs, The truth is, the 6.7 kilowatt charger is no different than plugging it into a 110 outlet at your house.
Right.
And the charger, the device, the thing standing there, it doesn't do anything. It's a place you can plug your car in. It's just a outlet. Your car actually does it.
That's an hour.
6.7 kilowatts an hour. That's nothing. That's like plugging it into home. That's all the power you're getting. It's a 110 outlet with less than 15 amps.
0.11 kilowatts a minute. 0.11. So if you popped into the old gas station and you plugged in your car, because why would you not plug in your car? Because it's free. And you happen to be in there 20 minutes. 20 minutes seems a little bit long, but let's just give you the full 20. That means you gained 2.23 miles. Which again, it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And better than not getting it. Let's say 18 minutes. 18 minutes and they'll get you 2 miles. You might as well pop it in there because you're there. But that's nothing.
It's not. No, absolutely not. And I hate I ran over that point. That's a very big point of this. I was just also more amazed that your car is actually what converts the AC power from the plug from what's that device you're plugging into that you're paying for. Your car is what converts it to DC, to what you can use. I'm saying that these devices, they seem really high tech, but in reality, they're just an outlet. They're not even the big ones, even the big 350 watts, which are essentially 220, just like a dryer plug or behind your stove at home. It's a 220 plug, and those chargers are the same way. They're just what they are. Okay, so I did shop around town, and I did find a few chargers around town. Some of these are kind of interesting, I think. This one especially. So we got a 350 watt charger. Well, I assume it's a 350 watt. This one says it's a Tesla level 2. So we have a level 2 charger, but it's at County Line Liquor Store.
Oh, wow. Wow. Have you seen the ones that are at hotels?
I have. I didn't pick up on any of those for my exchange here.
Because that was when I was thinking about getting one in New Jersey, that was the deal we were going to do. Was we found 2 hotels on the way there.
Yeah.
That all had level 2s. And that's what the big kicker was, is that we would stop in Virginia at like the 5-hour mark, eat dinner there, and then that hour would get us to the hotel.
And obviously, that just like planning a trip and you checking before, see if they have a shuttle bus if you're leaving the airport. Yeah, that's the same thing. You're gonna be looking now on hotel.com. You're gonna be clicking the little box saying, I need a level 2 charger.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of worry with that though. Is how do you know the plug's not going to be busy? That's kind of an issue. Well, it could be broken. It sure could. So you can also let me show you the next charger. The next charger was on the screen there. This one was actually useful. This is the only charger that I found in my endeavors. It was useful. It's at Walmart. You might go to Walmart and plug your car in while you're shopping. You might do that. And it's a 350 watt charger. It is 43 cents a minute. Unless you have the deal. It is what it is, 43 cents. So you might actually do that. But even with that though, you're still leaving the house to go grocery shopping. But at least it is in a place that people are normally at. It is at a Walmart store.
Hey, you know what I actually thought, man, when you told me this, is that this just tells me that me and the wonderful wife, we both drive there. I drop the electric car off.
Yeah.
And we drive back home with hers. And about An hour later, 40 minutes later, we drive back to a fully charged vehicle.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
that
I mean, that's
sounds
just
weird, but that's just what it is, man. That's I don't like the idea of my house being a gas station, but that's literally what you have to do if you want to be an electric car.
it is, yes. But you know, I was trying to find something there, but it's just not there. It is.
It is. And moreover, like my buddy who did it, man, he took his so you get a free little charger when you buy it, which is no more than a 110 outlet.
Right.
And he bought like the next level one, which is essentially a 221. And then he bought a converter like we use over here in Europe. So he would plug it in at work with that converter, and it would charge his car if he slipped up and didn't have it charged.
Yeah. But that instantly brings up all kinds of things, though. So if you can get by with just the charger that comes with the car, you're in the game. But once you buy that next converter, and this week I read lots of horror stories about how you weren't able to wire directly, you know, like the plug or the electric box wasn't in the garage. It wasn't an open plug. It wasn't an open breaker. Had to hire an electrician. Some people are getting into like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 to wire up their level 2 charger. Bubba, you should have never bought an electric car. You should have took it back. If that was your point, you should have took it back because you can't save that much money. Look, man, we all try to save a few pennies a gallon. Gas isn't that expensive. When you just really add it up. I mean, so let's just pretend I haven't done it since I bought my truck. But I used to have a Tundra that got 17 miles a gallon, and people would try to get me to buy another one because they would tell me it got horrible gas mileage. But my Chevrolet out there doesn't use 2 more tanks of gas a year, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's only right now with Biden's gas, that's only $120. I fill my truck up once a week if I drove it. I'm driving a little car right now. So right now with Biden gas, it's $61 a week. So 61 times 52 is $3,172 a year is what I spend in gas.
I was gonna do mine, but I just realized I have no idea what my gas is when I get home. How much did you say it was?
$3,172 a year to drive back and forth to work. Normal. I'm just talking about normal driving, not going on ski trips or nothing like that. No vacation gas. Normal driving, $3,172. So if you can get a level 2 charger and hook it in your garage, more power to you. That's great. If it's affordable, but if you can't, just get it wired up. You just need to take it back. It's not.
You said $3,100 a year.
Yep.
Man, I feel like we should have done math ahead of time. $3,100 a year. Divide that by 52 weeks. So $60 a week.
With the Biden gas, yes. So it's costing me $61 a week right now to drive back and forth to work, normal basis, no extra trips.
Right. So
no whatever driving I do in a week. I normally fill up once a week. No abnormal driving.
So what's funny is that my big push for getting an electric car got nullified the day we bought a house in the town we're moving to next, where the next place I'm working at, because I was going to justify it with the hour drive there and back. But now that I'm 4 minutes away, hard to justify.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Right. You know, we're all worried about, man, I want to get 25 miles a gallon. But when you really do the math on what the pump, what it really costs.
Yeah.
Man, if you like what you drive, better keep what you drive because, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right on. Man, there's so much I got to unpack with this because one, I didn't realize that we, the taxpayers, had put in essentially worthless pumps for electric cars.
And Bubba, they're everywhere. Like, I don't know how many there are. I haven't looked up the number, but they're everywhere.
Unusable pump. Unusable. So a lot of places that I work at, they've created trickle chargers for Teslas, for electric cars.
Okay.
With a huge big push. And essentially what they did was they created they went to the electric shop and said, hey man, hook us up. Basically, man, a lot of places you can plug in 110 outlets because that was a big push to try to help people go green. Thousands of dollars was spent. And in my time in New Jersey, I saw one guy every single day plug into. Dude, they could have just bought old boy a new car.
Yeah.
Because are you really going to park your vehicle and then walk the rest of the way to work? have someone come get you every day. It was a great idea. It was a super idea.
But eventually there probably be more people plug up to it. Maybe when they have that option, they might buy more vehicles. But yeah,
it was a great idea. I'm hoping it turns into a big deal. But it wasn't a cool pump that we're talking about. It was just essentially a place you could plug in your 110 outlet and park your car. But it's no different than the 6.7 watts, like you said. It's the same deal.
That's right. It's just exactly like plugging into the outlet in your current house where you charge your cell phone.
But it is 7 times 8 is 7 times 8 is 56 miles. I mean, that's more than you should have driven. It's possibly more than you drove to and from work.
Right. So you could, as long as you could plug your car in every night, as long as you drive a reasonable distance, and you would always have plenty of battery, especially if it's plugged in over a long weekend. You maybe don't drive it on Saturday or Sunday and it gets a whole 24 hours. Yeah,
you're right. Anything? Well, all right, man. We beat this horse pretty much to death, man.
I don't know, man. I hadn't even told you what I was wrong about yet.
Oh, dang. I thought that was the free.
No, because they say they're free. How long until they quit? The government built them. I'm sure that the developer probably signed a deal saying that he would, like split the cost for so many years. At some point, Bass Pro or some point the developer or some point Hilton across the street, whoever's paying the light bill, they're going to not want to pay. Right now, it's cheap because maybe only one person a week plugs a car into one of the 4 stalls.
Right.
But in 5 or 6 years, when there's always a car plugged in.
And the moment they're no longer signed with the government, you're going to see them phase 2, phase 4, 5, 10, whatever pops in there. They're going to instantly swap that out for the big dog.
Except that there's only 110 power there. Do you think they ran 220 out in the middle of a parking lot? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Maybe. Even if they did. But I mean, they could charge for these. These are set up to charge. They have a credit card swiper thing on them, and it's set up to charge. They just right now they're set to free because nobody's using them. Free, right. You know what I'm saying? That's a draw. Come charge your car for free.
Yeah. Right. Then you get there. And like,
eventually they're going to stop.
Yeah. All right,
man. So I was wrong. Last week, Sarah was asleep, so I couldn't get my light bill. And I went on what I could find online. And well, I was wrong. So what matters is this part right here.
Kilowatts. 7 cents and 8 cents. I don't understand what we're looking at.
Well, this is my light bill.
Okay.
So it looks like it must charge a different rate depending on what time of day it is. That's the only I can figure.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And I'm thinking that since we're all home at night, we're probably using more power at night than during the day. So the bottom one must be at night. So it looks like instead of 14 cents a kilowatt, I'm paying 7 cents a kilowatt.
7, 8, yeah.
So that means that my numbers last week were all wrong.
Yeah.
So that means that the actual cost to operate the F-150 Lightning with a 150 kilowatt battery and said it can only go 300 miles is really, to charge it at my house, is really about 3.22 cents a mile. Which is 10 cents a mile less than my truck's operating on Biden gas right now.
So I want the Lightning now.
So even if gas went back where it belongs and Biden gas, my cost per mile of my truck would be about 8.5 or 9 cents. This is still 6 cents cheaper to operate per mile than my truck.
And honestly, Ted, if you can get that Lightning for 40,000, like it says, you should get it. Because you can't buy a new truck for $40,000.
You're right, you can't, and it looks like the rebate is about $8,000, and so you're looking at about $32,000 for the very base model. We did not show any pictures of the base model. Just this week they released those. Okay, so here's the next part of this has been my mind blown. I even got Sarah. I was kind of taking her through this today, and I even got her thinking about this too today. It says here that in my house, my light bill, my electric bill, and there's a lot of people live here. We are essentially all electric. I don't have gas for anything except for heat. My electric bill is $225 for the entire month of last month. It costs me $61 right now to fill my truck up on a Biden gas. That means that it costs me just as much to drive my truck back and forth to work in a month as it does for my house to operate all the time. How energy efficient is my house? Maybe pretty energy efficient. How energy efficient is my truck?
Not very.
Not very. No. And I just told you that my truck is energy efficient because it only costs $3,172 a year to drive back and forth to work.
Right.
How much better could it be? I don't know, but
so they're squeaking 250 horsepower out of 3 liters here. 3-liter engine.
Sure.
We aren't.
I don't know. Hang on. Hold on, man.
Man.
All right, man. So I looked it up here.
Yeah, we got
my little car outside. So it's kind of neat. It has a 3-cylinder engine with a turbo. It's actually a 1.0 liter, exactly 1.0 liters.
Okay.
It produces 123 horsepower.
Okay.
Ford's 3.0 liter EcoBoost, which is a pretty famed motor right now because it's very efficient. Mm-hmm. It gets 365 horsepower and 380 pounds of torque.
What is it again? The liters?
The 3.0 EcoBoost.
Okay.
It's a little 6-cylinder, I think. I think it's a 6-cylinder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 6-cylinder. 6-cylinder via 3.0 6-cylinder EcoBoost, and it makes 365 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque. That's almost as much as my truck.
That's more than Paige's Charger. It's an EcoBoost?
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
It's in a lot of things right now. That's what, last week you mentioned in the comparison, you said that you couldn't believe that Ford ever was talking about the 6-cylinder, but 6-cylinders have come a long way. That's really the engine right now. 6-cylinder with a turbo or twin turbos, ooh, baby.
Yeah, but I mean that's not.
You can make the power.
Yeah, but that's not a 6-cylinder anymore. It's got a turbo.
Hey man, the Ford Raptor's got a V6 in it with turbos on it. That makes more power than a V8 did.
Yeah, but that was a V8 with twin turbos.
They're putting one in there. They're putting one in there coming up.
NOS, baby.
But the idea though is to be efficient, to make more power with less. Get that fuel economy up there.
You're right.
And I mean, like the Ram SRT or the SRT, it's bad to the bone.
Yeah.
You can't haul nothing with it. It's made to be a desert runner. It's a forerunner to be out there doing that desert racing. You only want to drive it so long when something's only getting 9 miles a gallon. Yeah. It's just not fun anymore. You got to make something that's efficient and fun to drive all at the same time.
I'm glad you said that. All right. So let's pretend like tomorrow you wanted to get a sports car.
Yeah.
And you drove a 2018 whatever. And it had 350 horse, 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, 6.0, whatever. And then you jumped in that Tesla 3. They get 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. Are you buying a sports car because you want to put that accelerator down and hear that big block do big block stuff? Or are you buying it because you want to put the accelerator down? Because that is the question you got to ask yourself. I have had a couple sports cars. I've been in a lot of sports cars. But I'm telling you, Bubba, when you put it down on that Honda, that Tesla 3, you have to white knuckle that bastard because it's trying to pull you backwards. It takes it off so hard. I even brought the seat up so I'd be sure to get my foot on that accelerator.
Yeah.
So, but pushing down on that, or pushing down on a Corvette or a Camaro, there's something about that, man. There's something about that whole car vibrating with it. It's just what you want.
I mean, I think that it appeals to different people. But I think that most of the people that go and buy a car, like a Corvette or a Camaro or a Mustang because they want to go fast, yeah, they want to hear it go thumpity thump. And chances are, I would say that probably 60% of those cars probably never exceed 100 miles an hour.
That's true.
They just want to cruise around and go thumpity thump and rev it up and hear it just make racket. You can't do that in an electric car.
You can't.
But here's the but. The but is you can go to a speed shop and buy ways to improve your gasoline powered Detroit muscle car. There's no place to buy anything to improve your Tesla.
There's not.
And I mean, you can change the interior light color, or maybe you can change out some headlight bulbs or something, or some fancy pinstripes, but it's not like bolting on a big blower. There's no hooking up a bottle of nitrous. And it's just until if Elon could figure out how to make his cars after the sale customizable, I think he would really open up the hot rod market. And I don't think that's his goal, and I don't think that he's going to. I think it's extremely dangerous, and I think that the Tesla enjoys having control of their cars after the sale.
Yeah. I mean, I heard the other day they're discussing a type of paint. I don't even understand this. So somehow, I'm just going to do it this way. Somehow, every car would come in one color, and then you could purchase like
Come on, man.
Purchase another color.
Yeah.
So you pay your $5 a month and it's candy apple red. Man, I really wanted green.
Oh,
so you pay your $5.99.
Oh, come on.
And I'm sitting there. And so like if you would say, hey, you know what, man, I'm just gonna drop it back to white. You just turn off your subscription. Gosh. And I'm like thinking, I'm listening to this discussion and I'm hearing what they're saying. And I mean, I'm just reading this thinking to myself, like, it's already hard enough for me to find my car in the parking lot without every single dang car in the parking lot being white.
Man, if you were telling me right now that I could change the color of my truck to burgundy red for $1,000, I'd fucking hand you $1,000 right now. Well,
it's not even that much.
But I'd hand it to you.
So, yeah, it wasn't that much, man. They were discussing like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, my truck is gorgeous. I love it. It's white. It's beautiful. It's really not even white. It's like the color of a pearl. Yeah, man, I would love to have a burgundy truck, man.
So what my thoughts were in Jason's world was, you tell me on Sunday I can have Dallas Cowboy blue, and on Saturday I can have Razorback red.
Dang right, baby. Oh yeah.
Because I'm down, bro. Like I'm ready.
Yeah, we got to work on that, man. We got to investigate that.
Yeah. So that's obviously not there as a future conversation, but they're trying to do the full out customize everything after the fact.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that because if I can buy a Tesla car, insert brand, I don't care, car, and I can purchase, well, my problem is, man, I do not want this to become another Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I'm not trying to pay them $5 a month for every single thing because I'm not renting this car. I'm buying this car.
Sure.
And that is my problem with Tesla is you will never own your car.
Yeah, you pay a subscription.
If Elam can push a button and turn your car off where it sits, it isn't yours.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, a couple of years ago, I heard about a breakup date they did. They, after the sale, they had discovered there was a better way for the brakes to react in certain situations. And they did a big download to all the cars and, everybody's brakes are better.
I know. And I read reviews all the time that say that. They say, hey man, I got my car and now I've got 16 more horsepower. Or I push this button, I'm going on a long trip, I don't need the horsepower, and bango, now I've got extra miles per gallon.
Yeah, but don't some of the really eco cars, don't they already do that now? The gas cars, you can.
Well, no, they're saying it's like they were downloaded when they woke up this morning. They downloaded and they were able to tune their engine and give them more things.
That's pretty minor tuning. Have you seen the YouTube videos of the guy with the Tesla that races the Hellcats at the drag strips?
Oh yeah,
he'll just tell him,
just
tell him I'm not giving you my pink, but if we'll race for pinks, but you ain't getting my pink, you ain't gonna get it. And just blow the doors off, absolutely. But he's got a little laptop. He's doing some real. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing some real tuning on that dude. I don't know what he's got going on. But
yeah. So I mean, there's no, and that's what I'm saying, man. If you told me, Ted, I could have a Hellcat, or I can have a Tesla, I don't give a crap what. I want the Hellcat.
I know.
But my partner owns a Hellcat. He lived right next door at McGuire.
Yeah.
He never drove it because it got 3 miles to the gallon. He started up, turn it off. Oh man, Jason, it's the greatest sound in the world. I said, man, how can I listen for a ride? You can't afford to drive this thing, man.
Oh Lord, no.
He's paying like $400 a month in insurance, huge freaking payment every month. He said, man, just driving it, man, scares the crap out of him. What? No, man, no. No, I might drive it to work once a week or so. Man, it just
oh my gosh.
I said, why did you buy it? I wanted to have a Hellcat. You don't have one. The parking lot does. You don't have one.
When I was a kid. So, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm old now. So most of my stories begin 25 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I worked at Mickey D's, man. It was after I kind of worked there part-time for a little while later in life. So it was when I was there for my part-time years. And it was a boy that worked there. He had a Camaro, pretty late model. I mean, it was only like 3 years old. He had bought it. He was a Marine Guard. What do they call those? Not Air Force Guard. He's a Marine Guard person.
National Guard, whatever. Yeah.
But he'd been deployed and made a little money because of the Gulf War, and so he bought a car. He owned a damn car.
Yeah.
Even though it was only like 2 years old, so it was like a '93 or '94 Chevy Camaro with the 350, but it had the Interceptor package, like they were going to sell it to a police force. So it was an Interceptor car. It had no governor on that baby, man, and it would. Oh my God, it would fly. I mean, just fly. It'd be, you just think 150 miles an hour, and you were going 150 miles an hour. It was insane. It was like a crotch rocket motorcycle, but with 4 tires and doors. It was crazy, man. His insurance was $1,000 a month. In 95, 96, whenever this was, $1,000 a month.
And he owned it outright.
He had a few tickets. Oh yeah, he owned it. Yeah, it was his car.
Dang.
He had a few tickets.
Man.
Yeah, I like to have one of them Hellcats, man. They look pretty with all them graphics on the side. Oh
yeah.
Kitty cat.
Yeah.
Did you see that Jeep put the Hellcat motor, the big one, they put it in a Jeep. You can buy like the 4-door, like the Renegade style Jeep.
That thing. Yeah. Yeah. Dang. Hey man, change topic real quick. Did you see they interviewed Trevor Lawrence the other day?
No,
OTAs are going on, right? They asked him what was his thoughts about having Tim Tebow as his tight end. And he said, I don't care what the situation is. I don't care what the business is. I don't care what you're doing in life. You want Tim Tebow to work with.
Okay.
And the interviewer said, but yeah, but blah, blah. And Trevor Lawrence said, I don't care what you're doing in life. I don't care what you want Tim Tebow to do it with me. And
well, the only part I've seen Trevor Lawrence say was they're asking about Tim Tebow, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I know all his moves. I used to play him on Madden football."
Oh dang! But man, they showed a picture of man catching over the middle, man. Caught that ball, freaking arm like Jack. You look like the Rocker out there catching something. And they were saying, man, that like he's just a complete professional. Doesn't drop passes, doesn't miss assignments. Just does his job.
Dude, he played the whole day the other day and didn't drop a pass.
Yeah.
The whole day.
Whole day.
There's no tight ends and no wide receivers and no running backs in NFL that can play a whole day of practice and not drop a pass.
That's because they're not out there catching 90 balls a day, man, in the outfield.
Dude.
That's all he does. That's all he did. So he said, not Trevor. One of the guys said that Trevor make a call. Blah, blah, blah. Tim would be like, hey, you forgot to say Omaha. And he'd be correcting the calls. Hey, son, make sure you forgot that. Because Tim knows the whole dang playbook.
He's got to be more laid back. He can't be nervous because he's not 20 anymore. Or, how old you graduate college, 23.
He's got a guaranteed contract in baseball if he gets cut.
He's But he's more than that. I mean, he's got like TV contracts. He can get a job in places. You know, this isn't his only way.
Yeah,
This
he's
isn't.
a
I think they
playoff
want him to be
quarterback.
there. Could you imagine actually being wanted to be someplace?
Look, is it fair to say we all know that whenever this day is over, he's going to go coach with his old college football coach, who's now for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Like, he can go do anything he wants to do. It doesn't matter. I'm surprised that he's not in the booth somewhere like Tony Romo, because the man can speak. He's going to draw a crowd who loves him or hates him. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
The guy's a beast.
Yeah.
And all he's doing in Jacksonville is, one, you just pointed out, like, he's an amazing athlete who's probably going to have a maybe even not MVP, but maybe even a Pro Bowl kind of year. The guy's a beast. But if he doesn't get on the field, his intangibles alone are worth 3 times of they're paying the vet minimum. To put that in perspective, tight end 4 for the Dallas Cowboys, who's never going to see the field, is making the same as Tim Tebow. And Tim's over here helping grooming a quarterback for him.
Yeah.
Tight end 4 is trying to find the bathroom. Like,
yeah. And how much money did he just make for the team with his jersey being the number 2 jersey on the NFL store?
Bro.
You know, you talk about recouping, draft money. I mean, that's not paying. I mean, it may not be paying off the stadium, but that's paying bills, baby.
Bro. And just think that through for a second. This cat has not played in the league in 4 or 5 years. Steps in number 2 overall jersey seller. Now, how do you take this guy off your team? Because it doesn't matter what he does next year. He's going to be top 5 again.
Yep, he's going to be a crowd drawer, man. He's already on draw. I want to watch the Jaguars now. Their ratings going to be higher because I want to watch the team.
Yeah, I want to watch. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready, man. NFL.
Because you know there's going to be some crazy trick plays. You just know it.
Oh, bro. How many times are you going to see Timmy line up behind him in the gun, and it's going to be just a regular play? But once or twice a game, man, it's going to be a direct snap to Timmy.
Yep.
Tim's going to do Tim stuff. And if that means he runs, so be it. He still runs a 4.4. I mean,
what about the 4 lateral possibilities here?
Yeah. The deep ball all day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, give it to Tim, and he runs out 20 yards and throws it back to somebody that no coverage on him. Go to the end zone.
Or you pitch it to Timmy, he runs out and flea flickers back to the quarterback.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean,
what? Go dude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then you still got Travis Etienne. You got the rookie out of Clemson back there in the backfield with him. I mean, this team is.
They got a team just instantly, man. They got a team for some reason.
You automatically have a wild card in your backfield, which you did not have. How did Tim Tebow win a playoff game with the Denver Broncos, but he's not good enough to be a backup quarterback for anybody else in the league? Like, Ben DiNucci is seriously the backup quarterback for the Cowboys. Ben DiNucci, undrafted quarterback from a Division III school. But Tim Tebow and the guy we're talking about aren't good enough to be in the league. I mean, the answer is that they are good enough. You just don't want the circus to go with them.
I mean, you're right. I think your answer is probably closer to being right than mine. I don't have a good answer, but I think that the people that have this money, they're just not willing to pay people lottery winning money to make them look foolish on TV. They just assume pay the guy they know,
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the, keep the enemy, what's that line go,
Yeah. The devil versus the.
Right. Yeah. The devil versus the devil you don't.
Right. I mean, and I do get it, man. Like, you're trying to build a Super Bowl winning team or a playoff team, not trying to win the headlines unless you're Jerry Jones. What about Timmy?
Yeah.
I mean, so Jacksonville, obviously, man, this guy, again, I go back to the original point. How bad had the culture have to be where you needed Tim Tebow to come in and tell these guys, man, you're winners. You're worth having.
I would imagine though that him being there with his coach in that situation, I think that would improve most workplaces. I don't know that you talked about that. I don't have any experience with the Jaguars. You talk about how bad it was, but I would just think that combo, man, would just lighten the day in most work atmospheres.
Yeah.
But what about the Broncos, man? Like We got Drew Lock, and he hangs out with Peyton Manning over the winter a few hours, and then they pick up Bridgewater, and then I guess Aaron Rodgers isn't coming.
Yeah.
You talk about uncertainty, and camp's already happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Peyton's going to suit up this year.
That'd be nice. I'm still mad at them because they stole my cornerback, but that's okay. They're an interesting team because you think that if Patrick is half as good as he's supposed to be, that left side is good. I mean, the defense has not been the problem in years, though. The defense isn't the issue. The issue is the offense can't score to keep up.
I just don't understand the maybe they don't have it either. You know, I'm really surprised because, you know, I follow the Broncos and I was looking at their pre-draft organization. They had to like set aside a room. It was just and they had like the best of the best. Everybody they could hire was in there, and they're trying to figure all these scenarios out ahead of time. And then every time something happened during the draft, you know, like these people they're right there. It's just like watching them launch into space. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got workstations all around in a room, and somebody's at the front, and you know, they got to make decisions. And then to come out of the draft in the way they did, which I mean, they made some good decisions, but now you have a position where who is the freaking quarterback? I mean, you know that Drew Lock, he's going to camp thinking he's got to win up a spot just like Bridgewater.
Yeah, Bridgewater's got to be your backup unless he just lights it up. Drew Lock has got to be your guy. I mean, but Teddy Bridgewater is a starting quarterback in this league, so it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't win it. But he shouldn't. Drew Lock's got to be your guy. He's the guy of the future. But man, we see coaches get fired every day because they didn't get to the playoffs. And if Bridgewater gives you a better chance to get there, you got to go with it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't be playing favorites. I mean, you got to play to win. No doubt about it. I'm just, and I don't think it's not the coaches. I mean, who decides who to pick? You know, who has the final decision? I mean, I don't know. Surely it's not the coach. I mean, I imagine he's got a large part of the decision process, but
I would say if it is not, if I am the head coach of the Broncos and you, the owner, coming and telling me which quarterback is going to start, you had better remember that when the year is over. You better come. Well, Jason, you just didn't do it. Hey, man, you picked that quarterback. I didn't want him.
Oh no, I mean like in the draft. I mean, who gets to pick? You know, who has the final decision on who's you're going to pick in the draft? Yes, I'm sure once they start practicing and you know, I'm sure the football operations person and the coach probably get together and have the final say on who's the lineup. But
yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the Broncos really thought that the Patriots are going to trade up and trade with them. I know I did, and I knew they were going to choose Mac Jones at number 10, and Dallas was going to pick, oh my goodness, the cornerback out of Alabama, and everybody's going to be happy. But instead, there was no phone call, or the phone call wasn't enough, and you guys ruined my day. And it's whatever, but you got a great cornerback. But again, I feel like that you're playing against the Chiefs twice. You're playing against the Chargers twice. The Raiders are a lot better. I mean, it's just a really good division. And honestly, like, you just don't have the weapons offensively to keep up.
I hate we've only been doing this show for a very short amount of time. I would really like to go back to the June 30th show of last year because the one we didn't record, you know.
Right, exactly.
I would like to go back to that show because last year all we could talk about was Patrick, what's his name, in Kansas City. But actually, he hasn't even crossed my mind until just right now when you said Kansas City, and I was thinking, what were we talking about last year?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is really funny, man. And so Kansas City is a funny team, man, because you watch the Super Bowl, you know what happened. They could not protect Patrick Mahomes for anything. So in the offseason, they have traded for or drafted 5 starting offensive linemen. They have completely redone the offensive line. It will not have I think it has one player from last year's team on it.
Wow, that's incredible.
They sent a message that we will have 5 Pro Bowlers in front of this quarterback. When I look at what they did, I immediately question, why is their owner general manager making the moves I want my owner general manager to make? Why aren't all teams doing this? Because
that's a good question, but Patrick Mahomes is in Peyton Manning's in the Dallas quarterback, and they just don't. What was his name?
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman, man. The Troy Aikmans just don't come around every draft season.
They don't. They do not.
And they had like really worked on the team, man. They had really had a solid base. Patrick Mahomes just fell out of the sky, and you got to hold it all together. I don't know how to do it, man. How do you hold it all together, and then all you need is some offensive linemen? That's incredible.
I mean, dude, let's not forget, like, they had their quarterback.
Yeah,
I just went blank on who it was, but he's not in Minnesota. They knew they had the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
This team was built for him to take it to the Super Bowl. And then they drafted Patrick Mahomes, and the world thought they were crazy. And Mahomes took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're right. But they redid the offensive line. They gained more weapons in the draft. And this is, they're the pure definition of taking care of your house before the draft. And then you can just simply draft for desire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
oh man, how long till football starts? It's only June.
100 days until the Cowboys kick it off against Tampa Bay. Thanks for
man, I think I can make it. I can make it 100 days.
That's the first regular season game.
Okay.
In July is our first preseason game.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh man, like 45, 50 days then.
Dallas kicks it off against the Raiders, I think, in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. Okay, so I tried to get tickets. I'm not going to any football games this year. Apparently, everybody wants to go to a football game, and the people selling tickets know that. And
so, okay, wait. So, also, right now, the NFL is still doing like 25% capacity because they have not opened it up to 100%. So, I think once that gets cracked open, all the games you can handle.
That makes more sense because did you see the price of the tickets for when when Tom Brady goes back to
Foxborough?
The Patriots? Foxborough. Did you see the price of tickets?
No.
I'm talking about on the Fox, on the Patriots website, not Ticketmaster, no third party. Straight up tickets, man. $10,000. I looked on the day they went on sale.
That's paying a lot of money to watch a bully beat the crap out of the Patriots. That's a lot. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Every day I'm reminded how poor I really am. Just saying.
It's funny you were trying to say that because, man, I was watching something or whatever, man, and the guy said, hey, what are y'all doing this week? We should go to the lake or whatever. And the guy was like, yeah, let's just take off next week. And I thought, they're not even saying that's their yearly vacation. They're just jumping to go do this. Yeah, definitely. Definitely on the wrong side of it.
So, man, who knows what the future really holds?
Man, I was watching Barney 5. I was watching Barney 5, man. Andy Griffith show. Good old-fashioned black and white TV. And Barney leans over to Andy and says, picture, buildings, high as the eye can see, cars, fly. Andy Griffith leans over and says, Barney, you can't drive the car on the ground. Why would you want it to fly? So I don't know, man. I don't know what's next, but I'm ready, man. I'm hearing about flying cars, but I've been hearing about it since the Jetsons. So
those seem to be pretty real. I think even General Motors is working on it right now.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
A great show, man. Catch you next week.
Yes, sir.